going to demonstrate how to keep the header row in a worksheet stationary and visible while scrolling. It's sometimes very difficult to work with your data when that header row is not visible. As you can see here, if I scroll down, the header row disappears, and at this point I have to try to figure out what all these numbers and data means. When the header row is visible to me, then I always know what the data means. To keep that header row visible, we need to go to the View tab in the ribbon, the View tab, Data Review View tab. When we click on the View tab, we go to the ribbon to the right a little bit, and we see a button that says Freeze Panes. If we click on the Freeze Panes button, a task pane appears, and the second choice says Freeze Top Row. Keep the top row visible while scrolling through the rest of the worksheet, and that's exactly what we want to do. If I click Freeze Top Row, and now I start to scroll, I can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and that header row remains visible so I can better understand what my data is. There's a different way to freeze panes as well. Right now I'm going to go back to the Freeze Panes button and click Unfreeze Panes. Say I wanted the header row to stay visible, but I also wanted the first two columns to stay visible, and everything else should scroll. I can do that. I need to place my cursor at the point where I want everything above it to stay visible and everything to the left of it to stay visible. So I'm placing my cursor in this cell right here, cell C2. I'm going to go back to the Freeze Panes button from the View tab, Freeze Panes, and I'm going to choose the first choice here, Freeze Panes. Keep rows and columns visible while the rest of the worksheet scrolls based on current selection. That's exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to click that button, and now when I scroll down, that header row remains visible, and when I scroll to the right, those first two columns stay visible. That's the great thing about Freeze Panes.